Hi everybody. Today's episode is titled Time to Grow Up. When you have your feelings hurt, one of the first things that you may hear if you were Chloe's age, which is 6, is, "You hurt my feelings." Right?
Yeah.
Okay. That is honestly something that you would expect to hear from a child, but you would not expect to hear that necessarily from an adult. There is a poem that I spoke of months ago from my first book, and it's called Putting Away Childish Things. And there's a scripture in there that I am going to reference, and it's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. It says, "When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put childish ways behind me." The three key words to me are talked, thought, and reasoned like a child. When you hear a child talk, you hear a lot of "I want" and "I wish." Their thought process is very self-centered for the simple fact that that's just the way we were all born. Their reason is actually lacking. The definition of reason is to think, understand, and form judgments by a process of logic. The second part of that verse actually says, "When I became a man, I put childish ways behind me." As adults, it's our responsibility to talk, think, and reason like adults. How do we do this? First, we put childish ways behind us. Excuse me. The second way we do this is we make a conscious effort to look past our feelings. The third way that we do this is we don't play the broken record. We don't rehearse in our minds over and over and over again about how somebody hurt our feelings. As adults, we should be able to look past the fact that our feelings are hurt. We should be able to further evaluate the situation and say to ourselves, maybe that person was hurt themselves. Maybe that was not their intent, even though it did hurt my feelings. Their intent is very important. And if that was not their intent, then we should let it go. I don't think it should be said. If, as an adult, you hurt my feelings. I think adults really should be aware that you have feelings, but don't let your feelings control your day and your emotions and your response. As adults, we can take on the higher road and take the responsibility that is given to us as adults to think a little bit deeper about the situation before we blurt out like a child, "You hurt my feelings." My encouraging scripture is coming from Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 to 22. It says, "Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, 'Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother when he sins against me? Up to 7 times?' Jesus answered, 'I tell you not 7 times, but 77 times.
There's Nene, I think.
That's not Nene.
Oh, come on.